So between Ebonylife TV, headed by Abudu, and freelance journalist Tobore Ovuorie, a legal tussle is looming. And right at the center of that legal tussle is Oloture the movie. The freelance journalist has claimed or alleged is an adaptation of her life story and have accused Ebonylife TV of, piracy or whatever it is called.
I can't be silenced. I will continue talking. I can't be silenced.
At this point, we decided that if she felt she had a legal case, it could be better dealt with through the proper legal channels.
But most of us have heard the story, most of us have taken sides, most of us have given our opinion. In fact, from the title of this video, you could tell which side I have taken. I believe Ebonylife Media, headed by Abudu, who I admire, by the way, did her very dirty. And I also believe they need to fix it and not drag that poor girl to court because they can afford to hire high-profile lawyers. So many people have claimed that Tobore Ovuorie does not have a legal case because Abudu bought the story from Premium Time, so it's a close and short case, and that all Abudu has is a moral case which does not hold water in court. I beg to disagree. I'm not a lawyer, but if I were her lawyer, I have a way to spin it for her. All right? But before we do that, let's get to the facts of the gist. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Chizzy Adiola. Thank you for stopping by. Now let's get right to the, let's recap exactly what happened before I let you know why I believe she has a legal case, and if I were her lawyer, how I would have fought the battle for her. The first time this lady came out to say that the movie Oloture was an adaptation of her work, I thought she was an opportunist. And that was because she was literally rambling, or maybe what was posted on Twitter, because most of us saw it on Twitter. Maybe the way they posted it on Twitter, where she was shouting and saying, they hush puppied my work. Hey, they shit for Bible. They shit for church. Use Bible, clean yash. She was saying a lot of things. As in my mind, I'm like, why is she rambling? I thought this girl was just an opportunist. Of course, I didn't believe her. I thought she wants to clean out because she thinks Oloture made a lot of money on Netflix. That was what I thought. And then, of course, I saw Abudu's dignified response, where she said, of course, we've gone to Premium Times and we settled with Premium Times. That's how the industry works. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course, totally. I totally agreed with Abudu. But in my mind, I just said, you know what? Let me read her Premium Times story in 2014. I just decided, let me just read it. So I followed the link and I read it. And lo and behold, I felt like I was watching Oloture all over again. Everything I was reading in her 2014 interview was Oloture. And when I was reading it, I remember that Abudu said that there was no Alero in the story. Says who? She had Mama C. She had Mama Eno. Everything in Oloture, everything she wrote there, the scene in Oloture quickly played in my head. That was Oloture that I was just reading. In fact, her story was even more impactful. A lot of details were missed out in Oloture, including the details about the organ harvesters. There are so many details that were missed out in the movies, maybe because of logistic issues. But I'm telling you that what I read, and I'm going to put the link in the description box for you, was Oloture. And that's when I had a change of mind. And I realized that Abudu's response was just a public PR choreographed response where they're trying to make her look like she's crazy, saying things like her lawyers disengaged from her. They're trying to make her look like a blackmailer and a stalker and a crazy human being. And I almost fell for it. And that's why it's good to get the facts of the story before you pass your judgment. So why do I believe that Tobore has a legal case? Now, as a journalist, your journalistic reports, which you sign up with your media house as an employee, is very different from your life story. They are two separate things. Let me give you an example that will make sense to all of us, because we all know Christiana Amampo, the CNN top dog, who was a war correspondent. So she's on her way to Iraq to cover another breaking story. And for that reason, her husband decides to divorce her because he is tired of she taking such risk with her life. Now, that's not CNN's business, and that's not our business. Our business is the war in Iraq or wherever in the world. But if Christiana Amanpour decides to tell a story about how her love life was affected because of her job as a war correspondent, now that's a movie. Now that's a story worth telling. Now she has the right to give up that story. She can decide to give it to HBO or Netflix or any other movie house to shoot. It's her prerogative because that's her personal story. That's not CNN's business. But in this case, Ebonylife did not just use her reports. Ebonylife used her life story. So, more like the journalist became the story. So, the compelling reason to watch Oloture was not because of the sex trafficking and all of that. We've heard that story several times. In fact, Channels News can conveniently cover that story, and we watch it in 10 o'clock news. But the compelling reason to watch was because of the storyline, the plot about a journalist that went undercover and almost put her life in jeopardy. A journalist that almost lost her life trying to uncover the truth. That is the story of Oloture, and that is the story of Tobore Ovuorie. That is an adaptation of her life story. They could have used any other storyline on her reports, but they took her reports and took her life story and made a movie. That's an adaptation of her life. And now they owe her. They owe her opening credits because they are supposed to say in the opening credit that Oloture is based on the life story, on the true life story of freelance journalist X, Y, and Z. And since it's an adaptation, they are supposed to give her a percentage of the entire profit of the movie. Not tokenism, because what more Abudu is offering her is like a token. Oh yeah, I'll give you 5% of cinema runs. I mean, like, how will she know what 5% is? Furthermore, this is not just about money. It's also about recognition. That lady needs to stand up in a room full of people and let everybody clap for her. She's a hero. She did such an amazing job, and she deserves to know that. If this case proceeds to court, it's very obvious that Mo Abudu and Ebonylife Media is going to win. It's very obvious that they are going to crush her because Ebonylife is big, and in Nigeria, money and power talks. But I will be so disappointed, and I will find it such a shame that Mo Abudu allowed that lady suffer a second time. After everything she's been through, take that lady to a room and negotiate with her and make her happy. Period. You've talked about women helping women in the past. Put your money where your mouth is. Thank you very much for watching, guys. My name is Chizoba Adiola. Let me know your comments below, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.